Welcome back, guys. I'm Zell, and today it's time for another Drinkin' and Thinkin' with Zell. So you've got 9 seconds to grab your drink of choice, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, guys, today we're talking about several things. As you know, myself and Todd Knife and Tool have kind of teamed up. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff together. And we've got some questions for you. And also some discussion stuff. Let me get the coffee out of the way here. We've been running through some knife designs. If you've watched on Instagram, you've seen some of them, and I'll put some pictures up here so that you can see some. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll have some of those designs up here in person for you to look at. And right now, we're kind of centered on folding knives. Locking folding knives. So you're kind of your standard frame lock with a Zell and Todd Knife and Tool twist to it. So, those are going to come. But what I want to know from you guys is, what else do you want to see? What is a niche that's not being served? I've got some ideas, but let me know what you think. Anyhow, some of my ideas were these. They're kind of bent, and these are all rough ground. All three of these. My kiln hasn't shown up yet. I'm waiting on it to appear. It's I had to go and special order something. Wanted a specific way, so of course I've had to wait like a month or so for it. But supposedly when it gets here, it's going to be awesome. Even heat. I hope you meet that expectation. I think you will, but I'll let you guys get a look at the kiln whenever it gets here. Should be sometime later this week, early next week. Once I get it set up, we'll do a little video on it, and maybe we'll heat treat one of these knives I've been thinking around with. Anyhow, these knives here are somewhat like I think it's called a TDI, Technical Defense Institute design that K-Bar has partnered with that organization to make. Well, I don't like the idea of this knife as a defense knife. I mean, sure, makes a great push dagger, but my idea was something more like this, where you've got a good EDC tool that also fits in your belt a little better than a standard straight back knife. Because I'm always looking at EDC. I'm always looking at what can I use. Because I'm not, your standard 8-inch long straight back fixed blade. I'm not going to carry that around. That's why we invented folding knives. So we can fold them up and put them in our pocket. But that's where this comes in, and this is a very, very badly rough ground. I had some technical issues, we'll call them, with this. But anyhow, it's just a prototype, so no big deal. And there was Nixie and Chloe playing. And I'll roll in a current picture of those two, or at least Nixie, both of them if I can get them in the same picture. This one is going to have some modification. I ended up not liking this, and if you guys like it, let me know. If you guys like that shape and that big tall slab of steel there. But you can see some of the marks I've made here to maybe make some modification. Like I said, this is a prototype, so it doesn't matter if it gets a little wonky as we go along. But the idea here is to make a small knife. We've got, I think the blade ended up a little over 2 inches long. Full flat ground. Well, almost full flat ground. There's a bit of a bubble in it I'm going to have to fix. But whenever it's done, it'll be full flat ground. And the idea here was to make a sheath from Kydex that would allow you to stick this thing in your back pocket and clip it to your back pocket with a standard 3-screw clip, or whatever we come up with, and easily carry it. Have a lanyard hole here on the back of it so that you may have a lanyard sticking out of your pocket, but be easy to extract, and a wide spot at the top of the sheath to where it would be easy to get it back down in that sheath while the sheath's still in your pocket. And for some people it might even make a front pocket knife doing the same thing. But that was one concept I came up with. Let me know what you guys think. Some other things that we're trying to hash through, and I'm leaning on you guys, and I really appreciate any of you that give us some ideas or let us know your opinions, because we really appreciate it. And you guys are going to be the ones that get the opportunities whenever we go to do giveaways and sell prototypes and that sort of thing, because you guys have been great to me. You guys have been great to Todd Knife and Tool as a whole. So anyhow, moving on along, the other thing that we've been curious about is, what do you guys think about lockbacks? We have considered, and especially after we got a look at the inside of this Boker, and not the washer thing, guys, but the back spring and how that's set up. We got really interested in maybe doing some lockbacks. I have to check, but I don't know that Boker has any patent on that lock spring style, and shouldn't be able to patent it. It should be a rather normal thing. But anyhow, what do you think about lockbacks? Some EDC style lockbacks. We could do them a little different. You might see something with bearings in it. You might see something lock back with a flipper tab. I don't know. Just depends on what we can get away with. But what do you think about some newer lockback designs, possibly with our flare on them? And then we come down to this, pocket clips. Oh my goodness, boys and girls, pocket clips. They're something. Oh. We have our standard pocket clips. We have, like here, we have a Spyderco style pocket clip, and we have a Benchmade style pocket clip. Happens to be on an Ontario Rabbit. This is your Benchmade Emerson style pocket clip. We're not really enthralled with those pocket clips, but what do you guys think? I'm kind of inclined to like these wire pocket clips, and by the way, that's a wire pocket clip that I made, and as you can see, it's not perfect like the Spyderco one, but that was just me with some various sets of pliers, seeing if I could make one. And, I made one. Is it perfect? Well, no, but it's a prototype. Anyhow, what is your opinion on pocket clips? I really like the one that's on this Boker, and that's another option that I think we might be able to pull off. But anyhow, let us know what you think about pocket clips, because guys, as we go through this, as Todd Knife and Tool comes to fruition, it's coming to fruition, of course, for me and my partner, but it's also coming to fruition for you guys. And I know initially we're not going to be able to hit those lower price points that a lot of you would like to see, but the goal, as I've said before, is to have knives in most price brackets, maybe every price bracket if we can pull it off. And so any help you give us now, even if you're a person that doesn't plan on spending the kind of money you'd have to spend on a custom or a mid-tech, it may pay dividend later. The other knives that I've been considering is our slip joints and friction folders. And I know the friction folder is kind of coming back in vogue, and this is one of the viewers sent in, kind of a neat knife. It's about as ergonomic as a pineapple, but anyhow, it's kind of a neat knife. It's a NATO approved knife. Came here all the way from Canada. But Anyhow, what we've got here is your slip joint. And slip joints and friction folders, I think they're going to come back in vogue because the TSA is considering allowing slip joints or friction folders with certain blade designs back on aircraft. And if that happens, there's going to be a lot of frequent flyers that are going to be looking for that friction folder or the slip joint. And I think we could come up, especially with the friction folders, I think we could come up with some really neat little designs with that. But anyhow, guys, I know this isn't your normal drinking and thinking where we grab a hold of a subject and dive into it, but this is what's been on my mind over the past few days. You know, as you know, we've got the new puppy with Nixie running around, and Chloe, you know, she's only a year or so old. So I've got my hands full whenever I'm here at the house by myself just with those two dogs, and that has kind of slowed down video production, and I apologize for that. But another thing is I'm trying to get this stuff for Todd Knife and Tool and Tilt Blades headed out for you guys, and I really want your opinions so that we know what you want, what we should be working for, what maybe our signature design should be, because, you know, we can make a lot of different stuff. That's, you know, it's not an issue to figure it out and make it. The issue is, what do you want? What is something that's not being filled, a niche that you would like to see filled for you? Because that's one thing we can do. If there's 5 of you that want a certain type of fixed blade, we can probably fill that niche. If there's a few of you that want a certain sort of frame lock, we can probably fill that niche as well. You know, it's, you know, want some slippies, we can design some slippies, because what we're doing here is custom knives. And if we make 3 or 4 of them and people want them and people like them, you know, then we can look at production type stuff. But we can't get there without you. And you guys, like I said, you guys have been so great to us so far, and I really appreciate it. We're not going to stop any of the normal Zelrick stuff, but if you guys want to give me a hand with some of this, or give us a hand, I should say, that would be awesome, because I want to do things that you guys want to see. I don't want the 2 of us to just put our heads down, draw up a design, and say, yeah, we like that. Because, yeah, we may. But it doesn't do us any good or you any good if it's just a design that we like. If you give us the ideas, we'll do the artwork, we'll do the intricate parts, and bring you something that you want. Anyhow, I've spent way too much time running my mouth. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know this one was a little bit different, but it's what I've been thinking about, and that's what these Drinkin and Thinkins are supposed to be about. Whatever has been on my mind. And one more thing. What do you guys think about these? I'm going to do a video on them because I have an opinion, but let's hear your opinions. The fidget spinners. Are they just a fad? Are they useful? Yeah, what's your opinion? Anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a little while and talking about random stuff. And if you decide to give us a hand, I would really appreciate it. You know, we're trying to figure out what you guys want so that we can put our spin on it and bring it to you. Because, you know, that's kind of the plan. We don't want to just throw stuff out there and see what sticks. We would rather bring you what you want. Anyhow, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.